Hey, what's up? It's Greg from Fisherman's Headquarters, and today is July 4th. Happy birthday, America. Hopefully everybody's out and about enjoying this beautiful weather that we have here on Long Beach Island. The Jersey Shore is pumping right now. Lots of traffic, lots of people on the beaches, lots of boats out. Beautiful time to be in the neighborhood. Unfortunately, the fishing is not as great as we all wish it was. It's been kind of tough. It's been a grind here for the past, say, week or so. Sorry, I haven't shared an updated fish report. I was out in Florida for a week with the family on vacation. I'm back for a few days. I can share in a grind, like I said. Some Sharpies are getting out, putting some time in, and putting some catches together, but these catches are well earned. Right now, I'm right behind the shop here at Fisherman's Headquarters, sitting on the bench. I'm here to share an updated fish report with you folks. I was just up on the beach just a little bit ago. Water has bounced back a little from the upwelling. I'll show a little image of the Barnegat Inlet water temperature gauge. You'll see the more high to lows are the upwelling showing, and that smaller variation from high to low, the smaller trend is that, say, basically pulling away of the upwelling event. We've had numerous upwelling events, some prolonged upwelling events over the last, say, month or so. Now here in the month of July, the water is warming up a little bit right now today, which is Thursday, 4th of July. The surf temperature in ship bottom 65 degrees. You'll see on the inlet side of things, on the outgoing, water's peaking up to about 70, 74 degrees, 75 in that range. That's the warmer bay water coming out. And on the incoming, you'll see that water temperature dropping into the lower 60 degrees, mid 60 degree range. If you are fishing in the bay side, you may have experienced that slower bite in the colder water temperatures. Maybe you're one of the Sharpies and you know where to go when the water temperatures get cold and you're finding some bites. For me, the two things I would suggest on that front for tips and tricks on that scenario would be I would look shallower or look deeper. Why is that? Shallower, you're gonna find a little warmer water, right? The sun's gonna go through that shallow water. It's gonna warm up a little bit better. Or deeper, that bottom temperature doesn't change as radically. So deeper water temperatures, more stable, consistent water temperatures. Shallower water obviously warms up by the sun. So those would be two tips I can give you for fishing some upwelling events. One thing I could also say is head further offshore, outside where the upwelling event's a couple miles off. Most of the time you're gonna get more stable water temperature. Along the beachfront, you'll get a little colder water temperature. But with that being said, fluke fishing has been tough this season in the bay. It seemed like some points of the season were better than others. Definitely getting a little better reports here last couple days. Influx of shorts, a few keepers. I know a friend of mine, Pete, used to help me out big time at Bank of America. Now he's over at M&T Bank, also a Fork River Tuna Club member. He told me he had a couple nice fish out in the reef today. I had two keepers, and that might sound like a pretty pitiful day, but it's actually been pretty good. A couple keepers isn't bad for right now. I've been hearing a lot of slow reports from a lot of different customers and anglers. So shout out to Pete. I can share numerous reefs and wreck sites in the area have fish. That's Fluke I'm talking. There is also an opportunity to catch sea bass again. Now that it is July and August are the 2 months of sea bass season we get in the summertime. However, it's only one fish. The, say, 10 fish bag limit has been done away with. That's closed now. It's one fish all of July, all of August, one fish a person that is. 12 and a half is still the minimum. And if you want to check out more information on the New Jersey fishing regulations, check out either New Jersey Marine Fisheries online, or you can also go on fishinglbi.com. I've got a blog there. did a detailed blog post with the updated regulations. It also includes a lot more regulations than you might just find, say, on the state website. Sometimes they don't include all the species that you may find. And then sometimes anglers call us up on the phone. They're always asking for these, say, more I don't say rare, but more inconsistent catches as opposed to the more popular catches. And then that's why I decided to make that blog, share that information. But as far as the fish report goes, now that we're 4.5 minutes into this little video here or so, as far as the updated fish report goes right now, like I mentioned, it's a little bit of a grind, it's a little slower fishing, but there is fish getting caught. There is some great crabbing and clamming taking place here in the Barnegat Bay areas. So if you are an LBI, you want to get out and have some fun, get on the water, get out there and do a little crabbing, do a little clamming. We've got the clamming supplies, we've got the crabbing supplies, whether you want to get a clamming rake, you want to go tread, maybe you want to get a big old trap, crab pot, commercial style crab pot, Maryland style pot. We've got them, also have hand lines, smaller traps and such, even topless traps. We've got a pretty good crabbing and clamming selection here available at Fisherman's Headquarters. As far as the fishing front goes, fluke fishing on the beach is still happening. Don't want to say it's great, don't want to say it's pitiful, it's happening. With the colder water temperatures I did mention, we still got a lot of striped bass around. Like I say, it's great fishing, but anglers that are going for them, targeting them, are catching stripers. You want to be fishing earlier in the day, later in the day, evening times are best. Sunrise, sunset, golden hours, that's when you'll be fishing for striped bass. Fishing some lures, fishing some jigs, you'll catch them. I can share that there's been some fish in the inlets, also some striped bass in the side banks in the bay. As far as the beachfront, striped bass can be kind of tough to get off the surf, but there's fluke up there. A few kingfish showing up here and there, nothing spectacular. On the bay side, we got a few spots showing up. We had a little bit of action on the kingfish front, blowfish front, spot, nothing spectacular, but a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There are some sheep's head showing up. Sharpies, they're catching some nice sheep's head. Some more than others. Definitely not an easy fishery to get dialed in on to understand the ins and outs of it all. But there's some sheeps around. Hopefully we see some triggerfish soon. I haven't seen any, I haven't caught any. I haven't seen any reports from others, nothing been shared my way. If you've been catching some triggers, throw a comment down below. Not looking for any spots or anything like that, just heads up they're here. I have not heard of any triggers, but like I mentioned, there are some kings, some sheepies. There's been some bonita, still some bluefish around, bluefish in the bay. Hopefully we'll see a little better showing of some snappers. There's been some chasing some bait out front, bonita, and also some Spanish mackerel are around. Heard the fishing on the ridge was actually slow. Customer came in, I guess it was the other day, I'm trying to think who it was. Oh, Joe. Joe, I think he's from Surf City, mentioned he was out in the ridge, said the water was warm in the low 70-degree range. I think he said 71 or 72, said it was clean. There was a bait out there. There's been a lot of sand eels in the local waters, but he said that there was no tuna out there for him, no takers. I think he trolled some ballyhoo around, said he got bit off by some bluefish, possibly king mackerel. I think last year, over the years, he always catches a couple king mackerel out there, putting his time in. So a little report I can share on that front. I can share the inshore bluefin fishing has not been phenomenal. Had some friends that were out there yesterday, struggled. I had some friends out there yesterday that also caught a couple. The ones that caught him was actually Evan Brewer, good friend. I'm actually good buddies with his brother from way back. They were fishing out of Barnegat Light, but I think he's run the boat out of Barnegat, Forked River, Lacey, maybe Berkeley Township, somewhere up there. I'm not positive, but he was out of Barnegat Inlet. He said he fished 40, 50 miles offshore. They trolled up some bluefin yesterday. I heard a better bite out there at Hudson. Seemed that Hudson's been the place to be. Lots of boats out there. Hudson's a big area, so call it a spot burn, whatever you want to do, but it's far from a spot burn. Heard of some fish further east from there. I know Jeff, the Wolf Pack's been getting out, doing some demolition on the tuna fish. Got some big eyes, some yellowfin, whatnot. Good fishing out there taking place. So it's good to see that.
There he is! There's another! There's another! There he is! Oh, he's on my chain! He's on my chain!
They keep missing the ball.
Oh,
There he goes.
oh, there he is!
I can share on the beachfront, there's some sharks around. It's summertime, it's July. What else would you expect? Warmer water. Even sometimes in the cooler ocean water temperatures in the summertime, we get those sharks to come along, talking sandbars and sand tigers. There are some other sharks, but right now those are really the two primary sharks that are here. Both of them are protected species. If you're targeting those sharks, that is illegal. If you were going up there and chunking some meat off the beach with some heavy gear, that's sort of quasi-illegal. Just sharing just information that if you're going up there to chunk some meat for bluefish or stripers, you know, you're gonna be using circle hooks for striped bass, you're using J hooks for bluefish. You got to know the rules. If you catch a prohibited species like a sand tiger, or if you catch a prohibited species like a brown shark, you must keep them in the water and release them in the water. Using circle hooks is very important, so it helps out with the mortality rate, lessens the mortality rate, makes the survival rate much higher for fish. That's why they impose them on striped bass. That's why they have the shark fishing circle hook regulation. But if you are fishing with circle hooks off the beach for sharks, that is 100% illegal. Just a heads up. So before you go, know the laws. One thing I am doing, I'm working on a blog post, talk to a couple lifeguards in the area. I wanted to share a little updated information for saltwater anglers fishing the beach, whether you want to call it a surf fishing guide or heads up or information on beach access, where people can fish, say during the day. On Long Beach Island, basically 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., there's lifeguards on duty. Shouldn't be news to anybody here. Long Beach Island and the whole Jersey Shore has lifeguards. When they're on duty, you have to fish outside the flags. There are some select towns that don't allow you to fish at all during lifeguard hours. So it's easiest to share if you want to go fishing off the surf, fish outside the flags, or better yet, fish outside the on-duty lifeguard hours. So that means fish early in the morning before 10 a.m. Go out there at sunrise when no one's around, put your time in, or after the lifeguards leave, say 5 o'clock, and fish in the sunset. Those are my 2 suggestions. However, if you are fishing during the main hours, majority of the time when beachgoers are there and the lifeguards are there, say 10 to 5, it's best to walk up there and check in with the lifeguard on duty. They know the rules, they'll help you out, and they'll tell you where to go. Certain towns like Ship Bottom, certain towns like Harvey Cedars, you can fish outside the flags. So a lot of times you'll see the lifeguard stand, you'll see flags outside of that's the swimming area. Then you'll see a buffer zone and then outer flags from there. Between those outer flags is the surf, swim, fishing, call it other recreational uses of the water. Sometimes people are snorkeling there. That's where you're gonna be outside the flags. Once again, if you're not sure where to go, touch base with the people on duty, the authority on duty, that's the lifeguards. Go up to the stand and say, hey, looking to fish here, where can I go? Where do you suggest? They'll point in the right direction. Be sure, always use common sense and always know the tide, know the current. When you have a longshore drift, you got a current pulling your line down the beach. Fish down the beach from the swimming areas. This way your line goes down the beach and away from the swimming areas and not into a swimming area. You should always be aware and use common sense in that scenario. Hopefully that brings some value to you. Once again, it's great at Fisherman's Headquarters. Hopefully everyone's getting out and enjoying this great weather we have for 4th of July. Had a great week here. Finally, we got some weather kind of rebounding while I was away last week. We had a lot of rain, lots of south winds, lots of upwelling. Before I went away, we had upwelling events. There was some fishing taking place, some fluke here, some fluke there. Definitely I was struggling. I got some catches together, but nothing spectacular. Hopefully you guys are getting out there getting some fish. I know just a week or so back, I guess it was last Friday, that'll be a week from tomorrow, the Fluke Mania went down. There's some good catches there. I know half the fleet struggled that I talked to and half got some fish. Good to see some fish getting caught. I think a lot of those fish took place in the bay side because there's a lot of south wind. It was pretty stormy. I think it was like 3 to 4 foot swell off the beach. It made it tough to get out there and get out in the ocean. So I think most of those fish were caught in the bay. There's definitely plenty of fish in the bay. However, right now in July is normally when I start fishing out front. I like to start fishing the reefs and wreck sites in July and August. It's my favorite time to fish out there. Water temperature's warmer, starts getting more consistent, and normally lasts right into the end of the season. So hopefully that plays out. We'll see what happens. I'm looking to get some good fishing here the next few days. I have not been out there and putting the time in like I wish I was. Like I said, I was out of town. I can share right now off the Long Beach Island Surf, you've got about a 2 to 3 foot swell in the water from the south winds, and the south wind is kicking right now. I'll show a little video of the ocean, and you'll see that the water has cleaned up a little bit, has warmed up a little bit, but with the south wind, it's anybody's guess, will that surf up well and give us colder water temperatures again? My prediction is it will. How severe the upwelling event is up for debate. Right now, I feel that we've got a little bit of a unique thing going on where we've had prolonged upwelling events one after the other. We had a few years back where this occurred. However, right now, I kind of feel that we have a Labrador current that is somewhat being pushed in and staying inshore to the current, inshore to the coastline. Anybody that's not familiar, you got the Gulf Stream that runs warm water up and to the north. It's offshore. Labrador current brings water from the north to south. The Labrador current's colder, saltier, higher salinity.